Good afternoon, everyone. I, Charmi Atul Shah, on behalf of Professional Skill Enrichment Committee ICAI, welcome all the participants today for our webinar, Connecting with Impact Essential Skills for the Digital Era. Today, let me first take the introduction of our speaker. She, CA Payal Jain, is a dynamic and accomplished professional who exemplifies the perfect blend of technician brilliance, leadership, and purpose driven practice. CA Payal Jain is a fellow chartered accountant with over 18 years of post qualification experience, and she is the head partner in a leading CA firm in Bhilai. And she is into the area of sustainability, BRSR reporting, GST advisory, and strategic audit across sectors. She has a unique dual perspective, having led both the corporate as senior manager MIS at Idea Cellular and in practice, where she spearheads regulatory reporting and audit assignments for Maharashtra PS. She's also a certified peer reviewer, GST certificate holder, sustainability and BRSR certificate holder. Beyond the boardroom, she actively serves as a vice president of a Helping Hands Club Chhattisgarh and is enthusiastic advocate of women's leadership, student development, and community engagement. With these brief introduction, I welcome you, ma'am, and now the floor is all open for your deliberation. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Charmi, for your kind words. And thank you, Professional Skills and Enrichment Committee, for giving this opportunity. So, good afternoon, everyone, and a warm welcome to today's webinar. It is truly a pleasure to be with a community of my fellow chartered accountant who not only manage numbers but also manage trust, relationships, and credibility. So, before we start, let me just share my PPT and then we go ahead. Okay, so as already said, today's topic is connecting with impact, essential skills for the digital area. So we live in an era where almost every professional interaction, whether it is with clients, with peers, regulators, or teams, now has moved online. Thanks to COVID, we have now become really professional even in handling the online matters. Our meetings have now become on Zoom. Our discussions happen on WhatsApp, and our first impressions are often formed through LinkedIn profiles or emails or maybe our Instagram and other social platforms. So, the ability to connect effectively in this digital environment has become just as important as technical expertise. Because no matter, actually, not at all, no matter how competent you are, how skilled you are, or how technically sound you are, all what depends is how your impact depends on your ability to how you communicate, you present yourself or connect meaningfully. So, in the next 2 hours, we will explore how you can build professional relationships that are authentic, engaging, and future ready. Not only through my deliberations, but I would also share some tools and platforms of the digital world. We'll talk about how digital communication has changed the way we connect, how what truly builds trust and influence online, how to network with clients and peers meaningfully, both online as well as offline in a hybrid world, and how to maintain a professional digital brand that reflects credibility and warmth. So let's begin with understanding what's changed and why we need to adapt, why it is so important for we chartered accountants, apart from learning every day with all these amendments and these laws that are getting updated every time. why do we also need to be very sound and very perfect in the soft skills as well? So let us dive into this. Over the last decade, the way we build relationships has transformed dramatically. Earlier, actually, uh, we can divide this world into pre-COVID and post-COVID era, because with COVID, the digitization has increased blindfold. So we can say precisely before COVID, the relationships were actually built over coffee, over conferences, and over client visits. Today, many of these, in fact, most of these are replaced by emails, online meetings, and virtual forums. The digital shift has three key dimensions: the speed, the reach, and the visibility. So let us, discuss these three dimensions in very brief yet detailed way. So speed. We now communicate in seconds, but have you thought that it is often without the deep thinking? Today, the pace of communication has transformed dramatically. Emails, WhatsApp messages, client dashboards, automated reminders, everything is so instant. What earlier took a day or two, maybe a letter, a scheduled meeting, a detailed discussion, now happens in flick of a second. Clients also expect responses very quickly. Teams expect updates instantly. Even regulators send alerts on real time. So, with this incredible speed, there also are tremendous challenges that we have to face. Quick replies sometimes replace thoughtful replies. Information overload can dilute your clarity. Even rapid communication may sometimes reduce reflection, precision, and professional judgments, because they are, instinctively answered. So, as chartered accountants, what our role demands? Our role demands accuracy, prudence, and analytical depth. So the key to use speed as an enabler, not as a substitute for quality. You should be instant, but when you are instant, just pause for a second, think about what you are responding, and then respond. This is what is needed from a chartered accountant. So during this shift, what actually you must do, what you should ask yourself. You should ask yourself, when you take that 1 second pause, you should ask yourself, am I responding very fast, but is it meaningful? Am I managing the expectations through clear digital etiquettes? Am I ensuring that speed is not compromising, this instant reply is not compromising the confidentiality or the clarity? So, when you answer these questions and you get a positive answer, just give that one pause thought, get a positive answer, and then reply. So this would be your speed that is not compromising your quality of reply. Then coming next to reach, we can connect with anyone globally around the world. We are talking to each other instantly. We are talking to each other on, you just think of it that I want to connect to the person maybe in America, and you are connected immediately. Exactly. So this is how the reach has become these days. But what has hampered with this reach? The genuine engagement has become very hard. Digital platforms have removed geographical boundaries. You can collaborate with a client in Dubai, maybe on an audit file that is actually stored on cloud, and every working is done online. You can join a board meeting via Zoom. In fact, today we are connected with each other through a webinar, which was very, very rare some years back. So you can network with industry leaders also on LinkedIn, even without meeting them. The reach has now become infinite, but the human connection is again shrinking. Digital interactions often lack body language, your tone, spontaneity, relationship warmth. So I will tell you how you can, change your body language or tone, what can be replaced for this physical body language. As I was saying earlier, the face-to-face meeting built trust, rapport, and long-term partnerships. But today, building the same trust through virtual interactions requires deliberate and very curated efforts. So again, same I would tell you what we must ask when you are, get connecting a person who is way away from you, or whom you have not met before, and you are trying to give him the first deliberations, or you're trying to connect him to for the first time. So what at that time, what things you should keep in mind? You should ask again yourself, how do I make digital conversations more meaningful, so that the person feels connected to you, the person feels engaged with you? How do I personalize communication while using digital tools? Like, if I am with you on a webinar today, so I should just check who are the participants, and if possible, I should just have try to have a one-to-one communication. Of course, one to one, not one to one communication offline, but one to one communication over here. Try to meet, like, for example, when we started, so I had Charmi with me on the Zoom, the moderator. I just had one single question for her. Hi Charmi, how are you today? And then she answered. So this had a personal connect with each other, with both of us. So this is the way, when you can have a communication when we talk, or when you are having a one-to-one communication, so it becomes more easier. Then how do we maintain relationships when interactions are mostly transactional? So in the digital world, reach is a benefit. It is actually a very nice upliftment and a growth tool. But then only keep this in bold and italics in your mind, only when it is supported by authentic engagement, because there are chances wherein people would just open their screens, they would just keep it live. They can pretend that they are present, but they may not be present, or they may not be concentrating, or they may be working along with your things. So maybe they are not understanding, or retaliating what you are saying. So it is very important to have a authentic engagement when you are virtually connected to each other. Otherwise, this connection just becomes a noise, and there it is no way, very far away from the networking that you are actually thinking of. Then coming to next is your visibility. Our online presence now represents our professional identity also. So that is why you have to be very what do you say, very cautious about what you are sharing online, or what you are how you are getting engaged on the online platforms, on the social platforms. Actually, earlier people were knowing you in person. So your identity as a chartered accountant was built through your office, your visiting cards, your reputation, your interpersonal conducts. But today, a major part of your professional identity is built online. A very hard but a very scary truth. How you behave online, even on the social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram, even that matters, because a potential client today meets you Before meeting you, they will often check your LinkedIn profiles, your firm's website, your conference talks, your articles, or your post, even your comments. Believe me, this happens. This has happened with me personally. Even your comments on professional forums has an impact on the potential clients, or in fact, your existing clients as well. So your digital footprint is now your first impression. It is like a khuli kitab, as they say. It is an open book for the people around you. How you behave, how you portray yourself, how you present yourself, all this matters. So whether accurate or not, people form opinions about your competence, your credibility, and your professionalism from what they see online. So, this is actually the drastic change that has come from offline to online things. This is actually the shift that I was talking that has happened in this digital era. This raises again important consideration. Are we intentionally shaping our digital identity, or are we doing it, are we doing it cautiously, or we are just doing it randomly? Are we showcasing our strengths, knowledge areas, and achievements while you are, presenting things online? Are we projecting the professionalism that is actually expected from a chartered accountant? You see, as soon as you become a chartered accountant, the two-letter word CA changes everything out about you. Like an article who comes to me, or a same article when he comes to me with a prefix CA, obviously my perspective towards him changes. I feel now this person is know all everything person, right? So this happens. Those two words brings a drastic same change. So are we, when we are online, when we are using digital platforms, are we really again professional? So this all needs to give a thought. So visibility today is not just about being seen. It is about being seen in the right way, in the correct way. It is about being consistent, about being authentic and value driven in the digital space. So for chartered accountants, this change means that our reputation is increasingly digital. Clients, again, saying clients often Google us before meeting us. A peer might judge us by how we communicate in professional WhatsApp groups, maybe, or professional Tinder groups, or maybe professional groups that are created online. Influence is often built before we even speak. So, digital connection is not just about being visible, it's about being memorable, about being trustworthy, and again, about being authentic. How authentic you are, how reliable you are. So, ask yourself, when a client receives an email from you, do they feel understood, or do they feel instructed? How is the email that you have drafted? When someone sees your LinkedIn profile, does it reflect your expertise, your knowledge, and your personality? Have you, put up such post? Have you put up such details on your profiles that they feel that yes, you are that trustworthy advisor that they are seeking for? So this is the shift from transactional communication to relational communication in a digital world. And as chartered accountants, our goal should be to blend speed with depth, global reach with genuine connection, digital visibility with professional integrity. This is how we thrive, not just survive. We have to thrive in this digital era. The goal is no longer just to inform the uh, onboard people, but to influence them and to engage them, connect to them, and network with them. So let us see the science of connection, how it builds trust and how it becomes, authentic, how it becomes engaging, how it becomes a perfect way of getting the prospective client, or communicating with your regulators, or being, the perfect digital person. So let us now understand what actually makes people connect and trust us, especially when physical interaction is not present, or maybe it is very limited. Trust in professional relationships is built on three pillars, as I have mentioned in the my slide: the competence, the connection, and the character. The three C's, they are very important for having a digital perfect presence: the competence, the connection, and the character. Let us, think discuss about this one by one. So, do you know what you are doing? This is the foundation of professional trust. What is the foundation of professional trust? The competence, the expertise, the advisory. When someone engages a chartered accountant, they are putting their finances, compliances, data, and sometimes their entire business stability into your hands. So when it is kind of giving your entire wealth in your hands, so obviously they want to check that you are competent enough to handle all these things, right? So their first and basic expectation is this chartered accountant should be technically sound, technically perfect. They should know the law. You should understand the numbers. They should apply judgment correctly. In simple and layman language, if I say, competence tells people that you deserve your chair. But competence today goes beyond passing exams or having years of experiences. It now also includes staying updated with ever changing laws. It is very important to be updated and up to the amendments that have, coming year by year, and not, I cannot say year by year, coming month on. Being technologically equipped, it is very important that you are a tech savvy person. If you are interacting digitally, it is very important that you should be tech savvy. You should know how to handle these gadgets. Understanding industry specific nuances, then applying practical wisdom, not just theoretical knowledge. Communicating complex topics in very simple and actionable terms. See, when you are interacting personally, you have that scope and space to make the person understand. You are able to see that person physically in front of you, and by their body language, by their gestures, you understand that he's not understood a single word that you are saying. So it is always, it is always be good to be safe, not to use jargons, but use very simple words, use simple language, simple examples, so that there is no scope of misunderstanding you. In the digital era, clients judge competence not only by the final deliverables, but also by the clarity of your emails, of your language, of your uh, communication, the structure of your reports, the tools that you are using. If you're using digital tools or gadgets that are, are obsolete or they are outdated, I mean, it is an irony that these digital gadgets get obsolete very fast. The turnover is very fast. But yes, you have to be updated with these gadgets also. Like doctors have their instruments, the stethoscope, and these digital tools are actually our instruments of the chartered accountants, instruments of our profession that is really needed. So you have to use the tools, the digital gadgets that are, up to date. the confidence in your explanation. So when you are, when I am here delivering a webinar in front of you, obviously I have to be very confident of what I am speaking. Only then you get that surety that yes, what I am speaking has some weight, it has some, sense. This is the crux of any digital communication. You yourself have to be confident with what you are speaking. So competence actually builds the first layer of trust. The belief definitely perfectly will guide me correctly and absolutely. Then let's go to the next pillar, that is character. How reliable you are and how ethical you are. Excuse me. If they say, if competence means what you can do, then character means who you are, right? So clients and colleagues rely on us not just for our skills, but also for integrity, for our ethics. It's very important that they feel that we are ethical people and we are not going to do anything that is unethical or not abiding by law, or we are not going to, leave them in between, or maybe we'll deal everything very pause wise, right? So in our line of work, we deal with confidential informations, sensitive financial decisions, professional judgments, ethical dilemmas, pressure situations where shortcuts may actually tempt us, but character reflects in everyday actions. So how character is judged when you are in a digital frame? Do you honor your timelines? Do you admit when you are wrong? Like if you have said some section wrong, or maybe while you are delivering a report, you have mentioned some data or information wrong. Do you accept that I have done it wrong? Do you stand firm on ethical stance even when others, maybe your other colleagues or your competitors want you to bend? Do you stand straight because you are ethically correct? Do you maintain confidentiality even when no one is watching you? Or do you take responsibility when something goes wrong? Do you give credit to your team very fairly? This is again a very important part, It shouldn't be always that I have done this. It should be like we have done this. This shows your character, this shows your integrity, this shows that you are, a team person. So, strong character says to the world that you can depend on me consistently. I am a reliable person. For a chartered accountant, this is actually non negotiable. Clients may forgive a delayed reply, or maybe a missed call, or maybe when you have not attended their calls for days together, but they would never, ever forget dishonesty, unreliability, and lack of integrity. So, these things are very important to build your character, to build uh, your character. These things we have already thought of, we have already given importance when you are have on an offline communication, but these things become more important and more persuasive when you are in a digital frame, because the person does not know you personally. So you have to be very honest, reliable, and full of integrity and authenticity. Only then you can have a long-term relationship. Then coming to next is connection. So just think of this. Do you actually genuinely care about others? Do you actually want to get connected to the person? So this connection is the pillar we often actually overlook, but it is the one that makes trust human. People trust you not only because you are competent and ethical, but also because they feel that you care about their goals, you care about the challenges that they are facing, you want to have a long term well being of that person. So only when that person gets this in their mind, when they actually feel this, that you care about them, then only they will feel actually connected to you. Connection is built through simple but very, very powerful behaviors. The first and the most important one is active listening. So we have already, talked about this when you are in a physical form, but on digital form, this becomes, as I said, this becomes more important, more persuasive. Because why? As I had already started when I had started this webinar, I told you that there may be people, who just even who must have just opened your screen. They must be pretending that they are with you, but then when you the same thing may be happening with you, yeah, vice versa. So but then when the other person who's talking to you does not feel this, that you are pretending to be there present, you are actually a active listener. So obviously he'll feel more connected to you than the others who are present in this kind of a Zoom meeting or maybe a mode meeting. You remember the important details even when you are in the digital frame. Just keep make a note of things. And in fact, there are certain tools wherein they help you make the notes while you are actually on the Zoom meeting, and these notes can directly be sent as soon as the meeting ends. These can be sent on the emails automatically. There are certain Google tools, there are certain AI tools as well. So this gives a better connection, a better credibility even in digital frame. Showing empathy when clients face difficult situations, explaining things patiently. See, when you are in a digital frame, don't think that you just have to finish these all things, finish your task in a 1 hour meeting maybe. So just don't rush. They explain things very patiently. Ask them again and again, have they understood? Because since they are not physically present with you, maybe they may not be able to connect to you again and again. So it is very important that they understand things, what you want to say, in one go, and very perfectly, very understandably. So being approachable also, when you are in a digital frame, you have to be approachable. Those people must be in a way like they can connect to you one to one. They can connect to you when you are live itself, that time also. So you have to be approachable, celebrating client successes, not just pointing out their mistake. This is one more important trait that you must have. Then treating them like treating the team members also with dignity. As I said, you never be I, always be we. How you behave with your team members, that because see, here you have to keep this in mind, that the person against you, if it is a global person, the person against you does not know you personally. At least not in the first few meetings, at least not in the first few meetings when you are approaching them, or when you have not started the actual work. So they would definitely judge you with how you behave with your team members who are also present with you. So it is very important that treat your team members with dignity, taking interest in the person, not just the file or the numbers. So you have to take an interest in that person also, like how he is doing today, or maybe is he in a good shape to discuss things. So, in a digital world where most interactions are actually transactional and they are rushed through, genuine connection is a thing that differentiates you from the other people who are also there digitally present. Like, if you actually make the other person feel that you are getting genuinely interested in them, you actually feel for them, you actually care for them, and this is the thing that will differentiate you from the others. You would have an upper hand on the other. Otherwise, there are automated messages these days, the robots who are yes, even the robots who are there, who are interacting in the meeting. So this genuine connection is what makes you human. Clients today don't just want a chartered accountant, they want a partner, a guide, someone who stands with them emotionally and professionally as well. Connection answers the question, is this person invested in my success? Does he want me to be successful, or am I just another assignment for him? So this can be done only with your soft skills, only with your behavior, only with how you interact, you connect, you engage with the person. When people feel cared for, trust actually multiplies like anything. And trust built on connection lasts through ups and downs. There may be some places where you can be on mistake, or there may be certain areas where you do not have that much of technical knowledge, or maybe sometimes you are not able to um, curb the deadline. But then only if the person trusts you, trust your integrity, then he would definitely sail through this. Errors and corrections and even disagreements. In the digital era, the connection pillar becomes critical because we can't rely on body language or face to face warmth. We must convey empathy and credibility through our words, through our tone, and consistency. So, actually, words, tone, the consistency, the timelines, all these are the new digital body language. Research in behavioral psychology actually shows that people trust professionals who demonstrate three things consistently: authenticity, like they sound human and not mechanical. As I said, there are robots who are who are conducting meetings, so automated messages. People do not want to hear that. People want to hear a human. So authenticity is a key pillar for your digital behavior. Then consistency, how you respond promptly and you keep your word. Then empathy, that is also a very important base for your digital communication. They make the other person feel seen and valued. So as chartered accountants, we already have ample of technical competence and ethical grounding. What we now needs to strengthen is the emotional and the interpersonal layer of our minds. How we listen, how we respond, and how you relate digitally. So even small actions of ours can build trust. Responding to messages very courteously, starting with like greetings of the day, ending your message with regards. These are very small gestures, but then they have an impact. They show your mannerism, they show your courtesy. So acknowledging receipt of documents very promptly, then using a warm yet professional tone in emails. Once the person has interacted with you, like maybe one or twice, even when you are sending an email or you are WhatsApping a message, so that person tries to, imagine you if you were talking face to face. So your words and tone should be very professional in your messages and emails as well. It should be as good as you are speaking one to one. So it has to be, it has to have that warmth in the words. Then remember the client's milestones or maybe preferences also. That is also one very good short in a world full of automation. Your one single human touch becomes your differentiator. You can be that, lotus in the pool of that mud. So, to build strong, long lasting professional relationships, we must consciously nurture all three pillars: competence to show that we can deliver, character to show we will do the right and ethical thing, connection to show that we care about those we are serving. So, when these three pillars come together, you don't just become a chartered accountant, you become a trusted advisor, a respected professional, and a relationship builder in the digital age. See, all these traits automatically gets conveyed when you are on a one-to-one face-to-face connections. But when you are in a digital connection, you have to have deliberate and more efforts to build all these things, and that is very important. So let's go to the next thing. How do you build digital presence and networking online? So this creating your digital presence is really very important and very, it is the crux of everything. If you are present consistently, that means that you are known, you are remembered, but you are there for some time and then you vanish. So obviously people forget you. Do you remember the advertises that were there in 90s or maybe even 2000s, like 25 years back? Do you remember that Parle G ad? No, you don't. But do you remember the Amul ads? Why? Because Amul has been, though they have revamped, they have created more better advertise, but still every advertise of theirs have that touch of 90s or maybe 80s or maybe 70s. You still, remember them with that Smita Patil ad, wherein, she was having that what you say, the pot full of water, and she was going in that desert, and then that kind of, so they have kept this in mind that these things are not forgotten, and they are not forgotten because they are repeated. They are always there in front of you. Here in this digital era, what is, what happens is, as soon as you shut down your laptop or your screen, as soon as you switch off your mobile, or as soon as your call is completed, you are forgotten. So you have to have that presence imbibed in the minds of the people. You should speak and behave and connect in a way that people do not forget you even when you are not present in front of you. There are many ways and means, how you can uh, connect to people, or like initially in older days, how you used to connect with your colleagues, or maybe professional fellow chartered accountants, or maybe your clients. through some seminars, or maybe through some meets, or maybe some your client visits your office, or maybe there were some professional meets conducted. So now what happens is such meets are not conducted physically, but they are conducted virtually. And once either the person is not actively be part of your actively part of your digital meet, because he's just, as the biggest flaw that happens is that he's just pretending that he's digitally present, but he's not. He's either concentrating on some other work, or maybe he's parallelly doing something else, or maybe he's just put on his screen and he's gaib from that place. So these things happen, and that is why it is important that you keep them engaged, you keep them connected. And when they are engaged with you, obviously whatever you are saying has to be so constructive, has to be so knowledgeful, that people feel that they should listen to you. Yeah, like right now, if I'm not giving you a knowledgeable content, or maybe if I'm not giving you the thing that you already know, if there is no some unique things that I am talking about, obviously you would just keep this screen on for getting those two unstructured CPRs, but then you would not be maybe listening to me, or you would not be maybe even thinking of me. So I have to keep this maintained, that I keep you engaged for entire 2 hours. I give you such a content that you feel that yes, I have to be present here, because I don't know what next may be coming, which would be very a very important content that would get added to my thing. So I have to keep that pace going. I have to keep that what next idea rolling out in your minds. Yeah. So keeping that digital presence intact very importantly. So let's move to a practical environment. In earlier days, networking happened through seminars, clients visiting your place, or you visiting the client office, or maybe the professional meets, something like that. How does it happen today? It happens through LinkedIn's, through WhatsApp groups, through Instagram Reels, through webinars, through digital collaborations, through Zoom meetings, right? So here, let us have, certain um, ways and means to build a meaningful connection online. Be present where it matters. Very, very important that you maintain a professional presence on LinkedIn. Not that, since good that all these social platforms, digital platforms have categorized them in different ways. Like LinkedIn is supposed to be a professional platform. You do not keep on, posting the family reels or the fun reels that you post on Instagram. So you should know how to categorize things. You should know where to post what. And you should know that whom to keep in your network on different platforms. Like in LinkedIn, always keep a professional people who are, engaged with you. Do not try not to keep your family members or your friends on LinkedIn. For them, you have different platforms like Instagram or Facebook, maybe. So categorize this so that, when you are trying to connect.
Păceasuri avem voila.
Mormuț porten atât o întâlnire de
Ah, ne to barne nisa nai nai.
Excuse me.
Ben musară stăi.
खुले देने से
Charmi,
तीन
say Charmi.
La password book mando.
एक
Sorry for the interruptions. So, where were we? Be present where it matters. Like I was saying, segregate your posts, segregate your videos, segregate your talks. Keep the social platforms also separate. Do not, keep on posting things which are irrelevant for your professional group, for your clientele group. In fact, maybe that is very relevant for your friends and family, but it would be, a rust for the professional group. So keep these intact. In fact, even in WhatsApp groups, just don't forward each and every message that comes to you. Think about it for whom it is relevant. In case like being a chartered accountant, being a if I keep on posting the amendments or maybe the sections or maybe some analysis of certain reports in my family group, for sure they are going to remove me from there. Yeah, because they're not going to understand what I'm trying to speak. So these things are relevant only for my professional WhatsApp groups or for my professional Telegram groups, right? Similarly, in if in my professional groups or in my like this, I would explain it to you with the physical way. When you are in a professional meet, you are in a board meeting, or maybe you are in a certain seminar, and there, if you start, in the middle of the seminar, if you start singing some song, or maybe you start presenting some shayari or something like that, some quotes, obviously people would think, is this person mad? Doesn't he know that and here we are discussing maybe some indirect taxes or maybe some IFRS point or maybe some sustainable reporting thing, some ESG point, and he is suddenly quoting some shairis and all that. This is so unprofessional, right? This would happen. Similarly, if in a professional group on a WhatsApp or maybe a Telegram, you post those beautiful good morning and good night quotes, obviously after some time people would get irritated with that, because there are so many groups for greeting good morning and good night, or maybe greeting festivals. So there are so many other groups. Maintain this professional segregation, that in the professional groups, stick to the motive of that group, stick to that professional ethics and etiquettes. So this is what I want to may imbibe in you, that be present where it matters. Maintain a professional presence on LinkedIn or relevant industry forums. Keep your profile updated with your area of expertise, achievements, and a friendly yet very professional photo. So, see, as we had already discussed before, that the clients, the prospective clients, in fact, even the existing clients, keep on checking your profiles, your data available digitally, so that they also want to keep themselves updated, that the chartered accountant that I have hired is actually an expert, is actually an a proper guide who would analyze things properly. So what are the updations that have happened in your life? If like I have done a certain certificate course, I should definitely update it on my social media platform, so that my client already gets that intimation that yes, now I am also an expert in, say, sustainable reporting and BRSR reporting, because I have also got knowledge about this through a certificate course, and now I am also practicing into this. So this is the way you communicate with your client, not telling them physically. Yeah. So keep your profiles updated, keep your achievements also known to them, not by sending those broadcasts, but then keeping your profiles updated. So whenever he scans your profile, he gets to know that you have been awarded for certain things, or maybe you have been appreciated by for certain thing, or maybe you have achieved a milestone that you had already targeted and discussed with him last time when he was there in your office, maybe on a Zoom meeting or something. Yeah. Always have a professional kind of photograph as your display photo. Don't put that dancing photos, or maybe do not put that name thing, because if the person does not know you personally, obviously he would like to have that image of yours in his mind when he is talking to you. So when, if you are on emails, or maybe you are on phone, like for Zoom meetings or something, they can at least see you. But when you are in on an email, or when you are on a WhatsApp message, so your display picture is what comes as an image or in front of your connect the other party whom you are connecting digitally. So always try, when you are in a professional frame, always try to keep a professional photograph, yet a very friendly one, not that strict and poker face photo. It should be, a smiling one, which itself gives a warmth of connection to that person. Yeah. Then next would be engage. Don't just observe. So here, what we need to discuss is, remember, digital networking should always be two-way. Like, if if you are having a board meeting on Zoom, you are that independent director in certain company, and you are attending that meeting that has a very crucial point to be discussed. Yeah, the board has finished their deliberations and they are asking for your opinion on the matter, and you go on speaking and speaking and speaking for maybe next 15 minutes, for maybe next 20-25 minutes, and the board has zoned out because they are not physically present with you. And listening to certain person continuously makes, it is a human body nature that you gets zoned out कि यार ये क्या बोले जा रहा है, blah blah blah, it's going on and on and on. Anyways, your things are, always so technical. A chartered accountant always speaks about numbers and data and information that is already so overloading things. So it, your important things may lose their essence if you go on just speaking one way. But instead of that, what you do is you engage the board with you. After every important point that you deliver, you ask them, have you understood this? Are we on the same page? Are you understanding my intention, what I am trying to say on this? And yes, when you get an answer back, obviously you know that the person is listening to you. And on a lighter note, even that person knows that yes, I have to be attentive because this person may, shoot any kind of question on me even when we are digitally present. So that is why they also try to be attentive. So always when you are on a digital network, keep the communication two-way. Try to engage the other person also with you. So, like when I am on the webinars, I normally ask people, do you have any questions? Please shoot down the questions in the chat box and I would try to answer them. So, this way, it so happens that if I get some questions, if I get a question from you and I answer them to you, obviously you feel connected to me, that yes, you have been given importance, you have been given that assurance. So engage each other, comment thoughtfully on the posts. So like, mm, in the middle of these tax season, there were so many posts going on that the deadline should be extended, and then one person have posted that, and there was so much of discussion on that, that the government is doing this way, and the government is at fault, and the leaders are at fault, or maybe what is the government doing, why they are thinking, why they are not thinking about chartered accountants, why they are not thinking about the professionals, why the clients are not understanding that these deadlines are not getting it extended. So, such kind of post, when they are there, you think about that. What are you doing if you are commenting on such post, or maybe if you are commenting positively, or maybe even if you are commenting negatively, what impact it will have on the readers? Think about that before you post something. See, also, remember over here that when you are in a face to face thing, when you are talking to each other, maybe it may happen that the other person may forget your words if they are not, if they are of lesser importance. They may forget after a month, or maybe after 6 months or a year. Yeah. But these posts that you have put up, the comments that you have put up on the post, they are going to lie there for forever unless you delete them. Yeah. So remember that your identity, your reputation are definitely built up on such posts, on such comments that you have put up, which are lying there for forever, for people who may be approaching you for the first time, and they are scanning your profiles or maybe the comments, and they get to read these things that you had just put up in the spur of your frustration or something like that. But that would create your image in front of them, because they don't know you personally, and they're going to judge you on these comments. Yeah. So think about it, that these comments, these posts, these insights are going to be there for forever on your social media platform, on your digital network. And maybe there may be instances wherein you may have posted things like long back, 2 years, 3 years back, and even you must have forgotten. But a person who's scanning you will always, bring those things back, will always see those things, and then they would judge you, and then they would take a decision if they want to get connected to you for a professional work, or they do not want to get connected to you. So, be thoughtful when you are putting some post on your social media platform or a professional platform. When you are commenting on others' post, always be thoughtful. Always think before, as they used to say, think before you act. I have a newer version for it, that think before you post, think before you comment. Then always try to, share insights, good reads, good updations, good expert advices, or maybe even case studies on your professional platforms. So this, of course, do not have those copy paste things. In fact, do not even try to create things from AI or ChatGPT or Power BI, because now even people have become very intelligent. The kind of language that you use in your post, on your insights, on your comments, or maybe your expert advices, or maybe your case studies, or maybe your articles, people thoroughly understand that these are not the own creativities, but in fact they are have been copied from certain AI tool. So don't do that. Have that personal touch, because copy paste though everyone can do. Yeah. But the creativity that you have in your minds, that cannot be copied. And that gives you an upper hand. That differentiates you from that mob. Yeah. So always try doing that. Share small bits on your social media platforms, on your digital platforms, on your various professional groups. This shows that you have started becoming an expert in a certain area. Be consistent about it. Not that आज ये कर लिया, कल वो कर लिया, परसों वो कर लिया. Be consistent about your specialization. This shows that you have become an expert. It also creates a digital presence, since you are instead of those good morning and good night messages, you are at least adding a value to the knowledge of others. So this also creates a digital presence. And definitely, you also keep on, making efforts of reading more things or understanding and analyzing things. And that is why you are keeping yourself updated and knowledgeable. So always, do this. It is a very good habit when you want to have a engaging thing, engaging the client, other parties with you, and being digitally present. Then always appreciate others' work. Even when you are in a digital frame, keep this in mind that appreciation is what triggers others' mind. It stimulates others' mind. So always do that. Not a false appreciation, of course, but then if certain client of yours, or maybe certain vendor of yours, or maybe certain referral of yours puts up some efforts and puts certain professional things on his or her platform, his or her digital platform, go through it genuinely, talk about it, and comment about it, appreciate that they have taken a good effort of analyzing certain thing. We have one person, a known chartered accountant, in fact, in my professional group. I don't know him very personally. I've met him in certain this kind of seminar only, wherein I was a speaker, and he took my number, and then he started sending me broadcasts. And he used to do it every day, and those were very small broadcasts about some professional talk, maybe like some amendment that has come, or some section that has been improvised, and what is his take on it. And in fact, he would never have those stereotype approach or perspective to a certain amendment or certain section. He would always have that third eye view, a 360-degree view. So it so happened that in when he had just started doing it, and it has been like 2 or 3 months that have they had passed, and I used to get his post regularly. And then suddenly, for like 15 days in a stretch, I did not get anything from him. I did not get a message from him. And I see, we were not personally connected, but then somewhere in my minds, I just thought, why this is not there? Why he's not sending me any message? So I just pinged him. Hey, how are you? And where have you been lost? And then he was like, oh, I was on a vacation, and that is why I did not, did not update things, and I did not send them professional, because these were a professional talks. So being on vacation, he was, having that work-life balance, and he was just living his life that time, and he was not updating work-related things. So I was like, okay, that's great. Once you come back, please do. I was just worried that maybe you have, taken me out from your broadcast, and maybe that is why you're not messaging me. So that is why I had pinged you. So two things that are need to be a, you know what you say, word for thought in this scenario is: one, he had his digital presence and it was not irritating. I was looking forward to it. Why? Because they were meaningful. They were adding knowledge to me. So this is the way you create your presence. And second thing was, he was consistent. He was doing it very regularly. So that is why when this stopped, it immediately triggered me that why I'm not getting it. So these things are very important when you are digitally connected. Though remember that I did not know him so well personally. I just knew his name, and I had his number saved with me for reference in future, maybe in any time if we meet again. So that was just my way of getting connected to him. But then he imbibed his presence in me even while we were not known personally, even while he was not present with me physically. So this has to be, kept in your minds. This is the way you connect to people. This is the way you keep in a network with people. Yeah. So engage, just don't observe. Comment thoughtfully on post, share insights, appreciate others. Digital networking should always be a two-way street. It's about contribution and not just visibility. Then coming to next is reach out professionally. When you are sending connection request or connection request on LinkedIn profiles, or maybe when you are sending some what do you say, Facebook request, always add a personalized message to it. Why? Because this shows that you are actually genuinely interested in getting connected to the person. Plus, you are not a robot. Plus, you are, not that scammer, because with digitalization, this has become a really great and, in fact, scary threat, that there are so many scammers around. They use your profile pictures, they use your data, and then they connect to your friends and connections. And then you all know that how many scams happen. So that is why always add a personalized message to when you are sending a connection. This way, what happens is the other person knows that you are a genuine person and you get connected, and it is actually a professional way to meet and greet a person. Like in physical sense, when you meet a professional person, you handshake, or you say some courteous professional words. So this sending a personalized message with a connection request is it gives a professional way of approaching a person. Instead of let us connect, that is an automated message, mostly when the digital platform sends a connection, you say that, see, I enjoyed your article that was published on your LinkedIn profile, and I read that post and I really liked it a lot. So would you love to stay in touch with me? Can we be a connection? Can we be professional connect, so that we can connect to each other for certain future collaborations, maybe? This gives such a professional way to meet a person digitally, isn't it? So always, do that. Then follow up after digital events. This is really, really very, very, very important. Like when I am delivering here in a webinar and you feel that this was really a knowledgeable webinar and it really added so much to my added value to my knowledge, and there were so many good tips and tricks that I had provided to you. Why not, just send a connect later after you finish this webinar with a short and sweet message. Hey, it was really great hearing you and your perspective during the session, and I really felt that it was a meaningful session that we had. So obviously this way you get connected to the person who is not known to you. Like when I am delivering here, I don't know so many people who have connected here in this webinar, and I don't know you personally, but then you know me, you have seen me here, and then you make a connect with me. Yeah. Then, second thing is appreciating. Obviously, if you appreciate me, I would feel so nice, and then we can have a further discussion about the topic that we are right now discussing. We can have an often, because I have a 2 hours limitation over here, not that I can deliver anything and everything over here. So obviously there can be a post session discussion which we normally have in the seminars, the physical seminars. We can also have a post discussion, a post seminar webinar discussion on these connects once we are connected. Yeah. So always have a follow up. This was just one example. Like when you have a client meeting, a prospective client meeting, then after you finish that meeting, as I had already told earlier also in the webinar, there are so many AI tools, the Google tools, wherein it records all the important points and gives you a very nice summary report while you are on the Zoom talk, on the Zoom meeting, on the client meeting with the person. So once you finish this, just get that extracted, analyze it, read it thoroughly, add your certain things if you want to, and send that email to the client. Prospective client maybe will feel that you also have a follow up even after this client meeting. Obviously, you are so courteous, you are so professional, and you are so genuinely interested in them. You are, it should not feel like a nagging, but it should feel like a summary, because maybe if you have a 2 hours stretch of meeting, there may be some certain things that he must have missed out during the meeting, or he must have forgotten after the meeting. So this summary helps him to analyze you, to analyze your work. Please here remember it thoroughly, that do not nag a person. It would definitely irritate him, but sending him a summary and waiting for some time would definitely give a professional approach. So always have that follow up thing after you have a digital event, like a prospective client email, or maybe a board meeting, or maybe a webinar. So, on a lighter note, do I expect so many messages from so many participants over here after this webinar happens? Just joking. But this follow up also again gives a good connection gesture digitally, and also it gives professionalism. It shows, portrays your professionalism. Then add value in every interaction. This always has this this has its own importance during your physical meets as well. You don't like a client who just comes up and sits with you and have that gossip attitude and talks about everything here and there and does not, you feel, since he's a client, maybe you talk to him once or twice, but then afterwards, when you have understood that this client just comes up every time and talks with you about here and there and does not have any fruitful thing, you feel your time is wasted, isn't it? You feel that. So similarly, the this similar situation also happens in the digital place. Even there, uh, if you are not, you are having a meeting on and on, like if you have a daily meeting with your teams, or maybe if you are having a daily meeting with your client who is, who is situated somewhere outside the country, and he is giving you work every day, there is such kind of assignment that needs everyday attention. So if that is monotonous, if that is the same routine, that is same things or same instructions or same data information that is giving you every day, you feel that what is this going on? What you would do there, you would start that meeting on screen, you would keep that AI tool started with it, and you instruct that AI tool that yes, with all these meetings, just summarize all these things and send me a report afterwards. I will just check that and I will see that कुछ और इसमें value addition है क्या, कुछ does it has something new or latest thing that was not said yesterday. I would compare. In fact, even that comparisons can be done by the AI tools. And if there's nothing, so it's okay. Again, tomorrow I would, by routine, because by compulsion, by routine, I would come to the meeting, I would again start that AI tool, and I would go concentrate on some other work. Yeah. But the same client, if he shares different kinds of insights, or maybe different tips, or maybe different kind of work, or maybe different opportunities every day, so I would look forward to that 8 o'clock meeting in the morning, isn't it? Every day, I know that this person would have something new for me, and that is why I need to attend it attentively. So always when you have a digital interaction, everyday routine interaction, even with your team members or even with your known people, always try to have a certain value addition. Always, even to your team members, if you're, sending them work, their day work on the digital interaction. So what you have to do is just add that one additional thing that they have to do today, the same, maybe the same vouching that they have to do, maybe the same accounting work that they are doing every day, maybe the same report writing that they are doing it every day, but add a tinge to it. Just ask them that this particular question, did you have this particular question answered in some other way? Did you have a thought of it that this may have some other perspective also? So give them a food for thought every day, so that when they, go to work and they do certain assignments, they have that other thing also, and they know that every day my boss is going to give me some food for thought, which I need to check up in the entire day, with maybe the documents, with maybe the client. So always, try to have a value addition when you are in a digital frame, because again and again I am inviting this, that in a digital frame there are very, very high chances of getting zoned out. The other person gets zoned out very fast. Looking at the screen continuously becomes really tiresome, and you feel sleepy, you feel frustrated, you feel tired, and you get zoned out. So it is very important that your content has value addition. You have an engaging conversation. You have a proper communication. It is very, very important while you are on a digital frame. So, digital networking is actually not about collecting contacts, it's about building relationships. The person whom you have communicated to today must remember you always. And if even if this deal does not crack, but you should create such an impression on them that in future, anytime and every time, if certain work comes up, you should be the first person whom he will approach, whom he will think of. You should be always in his minds for this specific work. So it is about building relationships. As chartered accountants, this can definitely open new avenues, collaborations, client referrals, mentorships, or even professional partnerships. Yes, it happens. Like, if I quote an example of mine, such kind of webinars which I have been doing. So, though this is out of my passion, but then people, had these consistent webinars of mine on work-life balance, on soft skills. So I got an offer from a company which is a US-based company, but they started their work in India, and they were like, "Ki, would you be able to, train our employees in our corporate who would be, who are the newly engaged employees in our Indian office, and we want you to, train them on the various soft skills, on various communication skills. So would you be able to do it?" And believe me, it was one of a kind experience. I got connected to that person, and now I have a very nice partnership with him. And every new batch of employees they hire, I train them for maybe 2 days, 3 days, small workshops we do, and we train them on communication skills, on presentation skills, on meeting skills, and all the soft skills. So this thing that has come out of passion for me, was a passion for me, has now become a professional avenue as well. Though even now it is the passion all is succeeding the professional avenue. But yes, this is the way you get partnerships, professional partnerships. You earn from these things. So remember, visibility creates opportunity, but credibility of yours, the way you have created, sustains the relationship. Yeah. Going to next. Communicating with impact, your tone, empathy, and clarity. Very, very, again, as I had already previously said, that in a digital framework, your tone, your empathy, and your clarity are actually the body language, the physical body language of your digital networking, your digital communication. So, effective communication is at the heart of digital communication. It is the base of digital communication. It is the crux of digital connection. But virtual communication often loses the tone, the emotions, and the nuance. While I'm delivering this webinar, I have to check my tone. I have to, sometimes I have to be softer, sometimes I have to be aggressive, sometimes I have to show importance, because while I'm talking to you, I cannot, bold the words, I cannot italic the words. So, how do I show my importance? How do I show the stress I want to have on a particular word, or on a particular thought? This can be done only through the tone. Yeah. So, it is very important how you keep your tone. It is very important how clear you are with your words, how your emotions are being presented, with your words. So this is an art, this is a skill, and you have to have learn this very effectively if you want to have a virtual communication, a effective virtual connect. So here are few, principles to keep your digital communication impactful and a successful one. So yes, I'll finish this very rapidly. Be clear of what you are talking about. Replace long paragraphs, long stories with short and structured messages. Like, give a heading, and then, when you are writing an email, or even when you are writing a WhatsApp message, instead of, just typing it, typing like it a story or a paragraph, just keep those words very short and sweet and meaningful, which gives, the entire story in just 2 or 3 words, or keep them in a bulleted form, or keep them the things that you want to highlight, keep them in bold, or keep them in italics. You can do all these things in your WhatsApp messages also, in your emails also. So keep your messages very short and in a structured way, in a proper format, so that the person does not zone out while reading your emails, or he knows that yes, these things, he understands what you are actually intending to say. So be clear with your words. Every word, every sentence always have different interpretations. Maybe you are intending to say something, but the other person does not interpret it the way you want to. So, your words should be the way they should be structured, that they give the actual intention that you want to speak to. For example, instead of, saying, kindly note that the matter pertaining to dash 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 blah blah blah, say just a quick note. Here is the thing that needs your attention to. Such a precise thing to say, that Baba, this matter is very important and it needs your quick attention. So just do that. So be clear in your things. Then be empathetic. Add a touch of warmth. As I said previously, also, always start your email or your message or your Telegram message or your WhatsApp message with like greetings of the day. So it even while you are physically meeting to someone, you always wish good morning, good evening, how are you. So why not even in your emails or in your messages start with greetings of the day? It is such a nice gesture, it adds warmth to your message. Then phrases like, hope you are doing well, or I understand your concern. It always humanizes your emails. The email does not, the message or the email or the digital conversation does not feel that it is an automated one. With AI, drastically increasing, people normally feel that these are copied paste messages. So this kind of phrases, put a human touch to it. They understand that yes, you are genuinely concerned and you are genuinely getting connected to them. You are actually talking to them, instead of you are, that person is not just one member of your broadcast list, the message that is going to each and everyone, but yes, he is actually a personal person whom you are getting connected to personally. Yeah, so always try to humanize your messages, always have to have that human touch with it. Then be professional, but yet it should be personable. Like, avoid robotic or very formal tone. Always, it should be professional, but it should not be very formal. A blend of confidence and courtesy works best always. So instead of copying paste the letter or the email from a AI tool, get a content, get it drafted from the AI tool, and then add certain your pinch of masalas. Like, they say कि माँ के हाथ का चीज उसमें आ गया, जादू आ गया. Do that. Put that personal magic into your auto drafted emails and messages and then send it. So have that personal touch, but yet remember that it should be professional. It should not be like, having that rowdy kind of language that you are having with your chaddi buddies. Don't do that. Always have a professional touch, because you are speaking to your client, or maybe a regulator, or maybe a professional colleague. So don't forget that. Even like, in fact, here I would like to add, even the professional colleague of yours may be a very good friend of yours also. But then you should know, to segregate between these two relations. When you are talking some professional talk with him, always keep it professional. Don't bring your personal relations into there. In fact, here I would like to quote an example that me and my husband, we both are chartered accountants, and we are in the same office also. But I always address him like a sir. He also always addresses me like madam. And for certain earlier years, the people around us even did not know the relation between us. So this is the way you have to keep your, professional and personal relations segregated, and always behave professionally when you are on a professional talk. For personal talks, you have the other ways. Yeah. So always be professional. Then listen digitally. As again and again, I'm telling, this is a very big threat that when you are digitally connected, people zone out. So when in a digital meeting, observe your tone, observe your pauses, observe your own engagements to others. Always do this. Always see that your tone is not monotonous. In fact, it is, it has that high and low pitches. Always have proper pauses, because when you are digitally connecting, when you are sending an email, if you put a wrong full stop or a wrong comma, it would change the meaning entirely. And remember, that person does not know you personally. He's reading your email for the first time and would interpret your sentences only on the basis of the pauses that you have given. So don't forget that you should be, pay attention to all these minute things as well. And engagement, very important. Listening attentively on screen actually builds trust. It is the foundation of trust building. End well. Always, always close your communication with clarity and positivity. Like, looking forward for your thoughts, or I would be happy to assist further. These are the kinds of word you should always close your meetings with, or maybe your emails with, or maybe your messages also. So this gives a positive sense of talk, as well as it gives a future. It has that scope of future connections. Like, if I say that I am looking forward for your answer out of this, or maybe I'm looking forward to connect to you in future. So obviously this has that back of the mind impact on the other reader, other person who's reading your mail or reading your message. And then when certain kind of work that comes to him, which is related to you, obviously he'll have that a nicely curated message will always have that impact on him, and he'll remember you, isn't it? So always have that positive attitude. Always keep a scope open for connection to each other. In short, write as if you are speaking to a person face to face. talk to a person on a Zoom meeting or on a digital platform as if he's sitting in front of you, and have all those kind of gestures and keep these tones and empathy and your curiosity and engagement as the body language that you have in physical frame. Make them your digital frame body language, and connect to the person impactfully, respectfully, clear, and with a human touch. Always have this in mind, that though you have so many AI tools, so many digital tools at hand, but nobody can replace a human emotion, a human respect, a human touch. So become irreplaceable. Get things done from the AI. Let them be your assistants and not your bosses. You always have that upper hand on the AI tools. Yeah. So, like for webinars or like online presentations or virtual discussions, always pay attention to camera presence, eye contact. Try to, maintain that eye contact when you are on a one-to-one meeting with certain person. Your voice modulation should also be perfect. It should have that high and low pitch. Then your background and your lighting is also very important. The person who is on the other side of the screen should not feel irritated. In fact, they should feel warmth. They should feel what mm, they should not feel gloomy, right? So have the backgrounds very nice ones, the catchy ones, that does not diverts the attention, but keeps the person feel like, looking at the screen. Keep the lights proper so that the person does not feel very tired very fast. Attention span of the participants, try to engage them properly. So in the digital world, how you say something often matters. In fact, matters more than what you say. It is very important that what you say should always be superseded by how you say, how confident you are, how is your tone, how engaging you are. This all is very, very important. Let us go to some digital etiquettes and boundaries that you must create while you are connecting digitally. It is These things are very, very important for your and other person's digital wellness, as well as for keeping the things professional. So digital professionalism is actually often overlooked. Since now you are available 24 by 7, you message anytime, you email anytime, you call the person on mobile anytime. Initially, when there were telephones only, there were no mobile phones. So you had your communication restricted to working hours only, like 10 to 5. You were always approaching or getting approached only during those working hours. But now that you have things in hand, you have the mobile number of others, you tend to message in VRs, or maybe you call on VRs as soon as you see the person online, and you just pick up your mobile, don't even think, and call up. And that other person, maybe he may be in a situation, or maybe he's not in a situation to talk to you, or maybe he's not feeling like to talk to you. He does not want to, but since you saw him online or you communicated him, he, out of courtesy, he has to pick up your call, isn't it? And then the person who was actually being your connect is now feeling irritated, is now feeling that you are so unprofessional, is now feeling that you are invading his space, and therefore he tries to, block you. This happened with me. It is really a real example, and actually it gave me a stimulant, and I understood that way that day a big lesson of my life. I had been there for certain program in a very reputed educational institute, and there I met a director, and he was so impressed with my talks and with my certificates and with my knowledge, that he was like, "Ki, let us be, let us get connected, and let us have a nice professional collaboration after you go. Please send me your firm's profile and all that thing." Yeah, and I was so happy, and I was like, "Okay, okay, wow, he's got connected to me, nice, and I am going to have a very nice prospective client now." And then what I did, this happened like maybe 8 years back, when I was still a budding person. I did not had budding person in the digital era. I did not had that so much of etiquettes, and I started, sending him messages, those good morning, because in those times when the new mobile had come, new WhatsApp had come, so people, tend to we were following those things, that yes, good morning, good afternoon messages, the messages, irrelevant messages, sending messages, irrelevant, unprofessional messages, that was happening. And I did it with him. I added him to my broadcast list, and the messages were going to him. And then he got so irritated after like maybe few days, 5 or 7 days, and he blocked me. And then once, when I thought that yes, I should, he did not revert back for the collaboration that we were going to have. And I just tried to, check on him through a WhatsApp message, and then I realized that yes, he's blocked me, and he's blocked me since when. And now I do not have any connect to him, because I did not had his email address, or I the only connection that I had with him was his mobile number, and there he had blocked me. So see, this is the way that I had lost my prospective client. So it is as important as having your physical manners and etiquettes, digital etiquettes, respecting digital wellness of yourself as well as other persons is as important. So some quick do's and don'ts that we will talk about here are that keep your communication always respectful and neutral. Even when you are, in disagreements, do not try to pounce on people. Keep it neutral, keep it respectful, try to convince your point very politely. Avoid mixing personal and professional content excessively. As I already told, that even if your professional colleague, your team member is a very good friend of yours, but when you are in a professional setup, keep the relations professional. Respond to emails and messages within a reasonable time. Don't be available 24 by 7, but during the working hours, always be have a reasonable time to for response. Otherwise what happens is these emails, these messages go down, and then you tend to forget about them. So keep a reminder, keep things intact, and respond properly. Keep WhatsApp communication professional and strictly only during working hours, unless it is very, very super urgent. And remember, this urgency should be from both party ways. It should not, you should think about it, that is this urgency only for me, or for the client as well, or for the other party also whom you are trying to communicate. Yeah. Otherwise, it would create irritation. Always proofread before posting or sending official communication. When you are drafting something in a flow of writing, you write many things. But then when you go back and you read it again, you tend to get the errors and mistakes also. So before sending or before posting anything, proofread the things. Think of your online presence as your digital handshake. It should, the we have been taught during many things that your handshake should be firm. It should not be, it should not show aggressiveness, or it should not show dominance. The same way, your online presence is like your digital handshake. It should convey competence, it should convey warmth, and it should convey integrity. A strong professional brand does not just attract opportunities, it also earns trust. So, one interactive exercise, I often call it as the connection audit, that I am giving you today, food for your thought. Let's do a quick, reflective exercise. You can call it as the connection audit, as I always call. And this is like take a moment, think of three people you interacted with professionally in the last week, maybe, or maybe last 15 days. Maybe a client, maybe a team member, maybe a peer, maybe a mentor. And just ask yourself, did I engage with them beyond work? Did I maybe share a feedback or maybe an appreciation to them? Did I follow up on the conversation meaningfully? Did I have that after digital event follow up? Did my communication reflect both professionalism and empathy? So now just, look back on those conversations with those three people and ask these three questions and think about it. Did you actually connect to them? Did you actually engaged with them? Or it was just a random conversation? Had you changed this scenario, would you have been, encashed this into an opportunity? So just have this connection audit exercise. This simple audit helps you identify where to deepen relationships, not just maintain them. So actually, networking is not about how many people you know, it's about how many people remember you positively. So that is why connecting is, very, very important. And I guess let us open this for some question and answers if there are. CH Army, are there any questions?
Ma'am, let me check out. Is there any questions in the chat box by the participants? Ma'am, we have questions. The first question is how to build rapport with someone I have only met through Zoom or email.
Yeah, so we had already discussed these things, that when you have, met a person just through emails or maybe a digital platform, your tone, your connection ways matters, and then your follow-up after the digital event also matters. How you follow up with that people. Remember, do not nag them, but keep your digital presence alive so that it creates a proper rapport. I hope I have answered.
Okay, ma'am. The next question is during virtual meetings, is camera always required to be open or closed?
It is very, very important to keep your camera open, because the digital presence, you are not physically present with the person, right? So how will he understand that you are available or not? Maybe there is some internet glitch or maybe something else. So he can only understand that you are there through looking at you, through seeing you through the camera. So it is always very, very important to keep your camera open. And that is also one of the part of active listening.
Okay, ma'am. So I
Any
think
more questions?
no, I think these were the only questions from the participants. One more question is for emails, I would suggest if any email is not responded, keep it unread till the time you respond. So it always on the top of your inbox just in case reminder is missed. Is that true, ma'am?
I did not get it properly. Can you repeat?
So for emails, if any email is not responded by us and the participant has suggested that can he keep it unread till the time he responds to it, so it remains on the top of our
Oh,
inbox.
yes, this is understood. Understood. Yes, this is a very good idea, in fact, a very good suggestion also. But then I would again say that keep the response time reasonable. It should not be you have kept this trick for yourself that you are not forgetting it, but don't let the other party also forget his query or his problem or his thing that he has approached you for. So always keep the things in reasonable time.
True, ma'am, true. So I think this is all about the questions from the participants. Thank you so much, ma'am, for the
Okay.
wonderful question.
So before we close, let's summarize the key takeaways from today's session. The way we connect has changed. So authenticity and empathy is very, very important. Trust is built through consistency, clarity, and genuine communication. Your digital presence is your first impression, and connection drives your opportunity. Keep all these in mind from today's session. In conclusion, I would like to say technology connects devices, but technology actually connects devices, but how you communicate, your empathy connects people. So, in this digital era, chartered accountants can combine competence with connection. I am so very thankful for all of you to joining today. I hope you leave this session with a renewed focus on connecting with purpose, communicating with clarity, and networking with impact. I am thankful to Professional Skills and Enrichment for giving me this opportunity. Thank you to all the officials at National Committee behind this successful webinar. And thank you, Charmi. You were a very good moderator.
Thank you, ma'am. So, as you have completed the session, also the question and answer has completed. It it's like an honor to be a part of this wonderful webcast on connecting with impact, essential skills for digital era, organized by the Professional Skill Enrichment Committee ICAI. So, on behalf of the committee ICAI, I would like to extend a heartfelt gratitude to our speaker, CA Payal Jain, for her enlightening session, and a wild round of applause and thanks to the organizer, Professional Skill Enrichment Committee, and our today's speaker, CA Payal Jain, and all the other stakeholders who has made this webcast a memorable one. So finally, we would like to thank all the person present here and helping us to make this webcast a grand success. Thank you all. Thank you all for your presence.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.